to calculate another date, which is a project finish date, you need to subtract 1. So sometimes P6 calculation is different, Excel calculation is different, and Power BI is different. So you need to check what is the total duration of project. So maybe you need to add +1 or -1 in order to make the equation satisfying. Okay, so these are the dates from the baseline. So there is one more option to check the delay, or you check not delay, you need to check the forecasted finish date, because not necessarily this baseline date means your project is going to finish here. You might need to know that, okay, what are the current situation in my program, in my project, that what is the forecasted date. Which one is this is the forecasted date. It can be beyond the project finish date, for baseline date. For example, this is the baseline finish date and it is going after that. So baseline project duration is coming from here, from baseline start, baseline finish. But you might want to also know that what is the current forecast duration, showing me that how much my project is going to be away from the baseline date. So you can also create the same formula and you can go here and make, let's say, a new measure. It's your choice if you want to have that, but these are the options. I'm just showing that you can avail. So date difference, minimum baseline, because baseline start date is the same date. Maximum of, from here you can just remove the baseline instead and bring here the activities fact table. You need to be in activities fact table and just go for the finish date. This is the forecast finish date and just put that here. Okay, and press comma. The formula is set. So it might give you more duration because the forecast date is changed. Okay, we need to just change the name. Both names cannot be same. Project duration, and you can name it forecast. Okay, so it may be little bit different. Let's say let's see how much value is coming here. See, it is different. It is showing me now. I can say that this is apparently the total float. Difference between them, you can calculate the difference between them as a delay as well. Okay, so what else do we need? Now we want to calculate the project elapsed duration. So I will not be using this as a measure because I don't want to use this. I want to use compare through the baseline, but if you want, you can calculate from for yourself from the forecasted date. So forecasted date can be changed in every update, so they are variable. So I will be working in this whole training based on the baseline dates. So now I'm going to calculate the project elapsed duration based on the baseline dates. If your case is different, for example, your baseline dates are already gone and you are following the forecasted date. For example, your baseline date was 1st January to be finished and you are here in the, let's say, end of the January, and your EOT is not approved and all these things going on. So definitely if your baseline date is already in the past, so you need to use the current dates, or maybe you need to revise the baseline. So it's up to you. So next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a new measure. I'm going to name it time elapse. So what is time elapse? So time elapse is actually the start of the project until the data date, whatever you data have, whatever is your data date. So this is your time elapse. So in our case, we do not know what is the data date. Maybe you know that from the P6 that this is your data date, but we don't want it to be a static time elapse. We want to make a very robust system. We want to make a very comprehensive, a very dynamic and system. Yani you can change the data date here and there, left or right, to and fro, and your data should be changing. So for that, what you need to do, I need to explain here one thing more first, that this is my filter here, and if I put this date, for example, this is my date here, so this date can be changed. Based on that, the data can be changed as well. Any data, for example, let's bring one data here and we will see what I'm going to bring. I'm going to bring the plant value which we just calculated. It's already there, or the percent you want. Okay, so if I change the date, you see that this value will be changed because the data date is changing. What data date is telling me, let's say I want to bring that data date here. How I can show that? What is my date? This is my date, and there are few options. So I want the latest date. Earliest date means the first date. First date is this one, but this date I'm not going to change this filter. I'm going to change the filter from start of the project until the data date. Now this becomes my data date. So this one is the latest, this one is the earliest. So in this case, what we are going to do, we are going to use, for example, here in the date, it is asking me the earliest date or the latest. I'm saying that I want always the latest date because latest is my data date. Now you see, so I can just change the context here. How? For example, day dash month dash year. This is easy. So now it will change the values accordingly. So now what I want to show you here, this becomes your data date. In P6 you cannot change your data date backward and forward and see the result because you have already applied the actuals. But in our case, if you want to see what happened in past, let's say I'm here back, so date is changing here and also the values are changing. So we also want that if my value is changing for plant value, earned value, SPI, CPI, if everything is changing with the time, why not the time elapsed should be changing with that as well. So that's why what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this value for the time elapsed, not the static data date, because we want a variable data date inside our model. So for that, let's now dive into again the project time elapsed. New measure. I will call it time elapsed is equal to, so what is the time elapsed? The first day of the project until the data date, which is variable. So first day you can see simply call it minimum of what? Baseline start date, because we are sure that this is the start of the project. Baseline start date. Okay, fine. For that, before that we need to write here the date diff formula, because we want to create the difference. Date diff of this. Now the second argument says the maximum date. What is the maximum date? The maximum date should come now from this part. This part is date. So what I am going to say that the maximum of, okay, DATE, I will write date. So now the date table is here, which is this one, and inside that these are the columns. So I want this column, the maximum of this column, and the interval should be this one day. So now my project elapsed is a variable. It can change with the time. If I'm standing here, it tells me the project elapsed so far at this point. So let's see if it works. Okay, what we are going to do, we are going to make a new card and time elapsed 328 days. If I move that forward, this will be increasing. You see 447 days. So now we have a variable time elapsed. It will help us in analysis later once we will be making the dashboards, that you will assess what was the time there, how much time was remaining, what was the project percent completion of the time, how much elapsed percent of the project, and all the dates are changing. So it's very powerful during the analysis time. So now the next thing is that, okay, we want to have a percentage as well. So let's say quickly create a percentage, new measure, and I will call it time elapsed percent is equal to divide formula. And what I want this is a measure. So now we need to understand, if you are using a measure, because we know that these all are the measures because they have a black calculator sign. It can be different color or something, but it has a calculator sign. So measures are used in a measure, so that means you don't need any aggregation. You can simply use the measure. It is a scalar value already. We know that. Why we were using the aggregation like sum, minimum, maximum? Because we wanted to convert the iterative values into the scalar values. So now this is already a scalar, so we don't need any minimum maximum thing. So simply I will call it, okay, time. So it will give me the option as well, time elapsed in numerator divided by what we want. We want to divide it with the project duration, which is this one. So project, so it is giving me both the options, but I want this baseline one. So this will give me the percentage of time elapsed, that how much percent elapsed, 50%, 30%, and all this. I can convert that easily into the percentage. From here, 2%. So let's say see the percentage. See 26%. If I move forward, the data will be 61% time elapsed. So now time remaining, we know that it's simply the difference between them. So I can quickly go in here, quick measure, and subtract the value. I need a subtraction of what? I don't need time elapsed here, I need here the project duration. So what is the project duration? Project duration is this minus the time elapsed. So this will be time remaining. So I can call this time remain, and for its percentage we know that we simply need to divide. So